Sometimes I feel a little crazy, and other times I feel completely crazy. This is one of those times. You can possibly see it in my eyes. The I sometimes call it the deer in a headlight look. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. And the fire is the element for the cleansing of the soul. And we are in a soul cleansing time. In a glasses cleansing time, so we can see clearly to some degree what on earth and heaven is going on. So this video is just going to be a somewhat of a description of what's going on so many different levels from my perspective, and see how it matches with your perspective, because really your perspective is what's important for you, your perception of the world, what your guidance is telling you. I apologize for the coughing right in front of the microphone, and I haven't even checked what the volume is, and boy, there's just so much going on. So I'm going to bring myself in. I'm going to say a few words that I would suggest you say after I say them, so I connect with my deep self. Notice what happens when you say that. I highly recommend it. I connect to my higher self. And notice what happens when you say that. It's my understanding that it's important to state these words out loud. So you can either believe it or not. I ground myself to the healing center of the earth. I open myself to the healing power of the One. And I choose to let go of anything that no longer serves me. And there are a group of 12 seventh dimensional beings that I've been working with for, I think over 14 years. And they help us in human form to make changes using vibration, frequencies, and sounds. If you choose to have them, you can look them up if you want. If you choose to have them help you make these changes you're making right now, you can state, I choose to work with the Hathors. I highly recommend it. I'm highly recommending a lot of things, and yet I'm not high on anything, although possibly slightly high on caffeine, which I had some this morning after my tonic drink, which I won't go into. It's got so much stuff in it that's supposed to make you just have a highly functional system. Okay, I think I've said it enough that there's a lot going on, so I'm going to talk a little bit about it. The healing field today, you're set up. I asked that we be placed in a field of protection while we do this work. The healing field the world healing field today is rocking. What it does for you to connect with the world healing field is it takes you into a collective of beings and humans who are working with the disturbance of the earth as it goes through this transition cleansing time. So things are happening in the earth that are triggering off these old memories for people, and they're coming to the surface and they're coming out, and it can be chaos in your individual life when you're a bit more aware. So you're not only aware of the stuff you're clearing, but you may also be aware of its relationship to your ancestors. And so you might be clearing stuff of your ancestors. And then the whole world is clearing the toxic choices that the world has made for 13,000 years. My understanding, literally, these toxic decisions made over the past 13,000 years all need to be cleared by March 24th of 2025. And to be a holder of this knowledge is not an easy task. So, I've known that I had abilities. As a child, I could see energies going on amongst my family members, and I knew what they were holding inside them in terms of whether it was grief or anger or fear. I was aware of that. I had the ability to go back in time with people to unresolved events from their past and help them resolve them. I had no idea why I had these abilities. I thought everybody saw the world the way I did. It turns out that not only did they not see the world the way I did, but if I spoke about the way I saw the world, it was sometimes very dangerous for me to speak about it, so I didn't. Does it still feel dangerous for me to speak about it? Not so much, because the world at large is scrambling to keep up with these changes, and they're not particularly noticing me and my YouTube channel with 400 videos and 850 subscribers. And whether or not they are. It just doesn't matter, because there's only 4 more months of this cleansing process. So I'm just here to recommend that you stick with it and just keep letting go as fast as you can. I'm going to talk about one area of my body that's being affected really powerfully right this minute. I am in a healing field with a client, and I'm at the end of that healing field, but by you tapping into this video, if it's in your highest good, you're tapping into the last bit of energy clearing from this event that we've gone back to. So that event is clearing. whenever you tap into this, whenever you watch that, if you felt that clearing, you tapped into the tail end, but it doesn't matter because you tapped into the clearing. So whether you spent, I don't know, 2 to 3 hours like I did working with this event, which was huge, and for the past 2 or 3 hours, I've been clearing the energy of this event along with the thousands and thousands of souls that went back to it. They've been clearing this event. I was in Michigan for 3 weeks, constantly clearing the energetics of that place, Michigan, for 3 weeks. And then ended up seeing all these clients and just clearing more. I'm going to talk about that in a moment, but we get to close this healing field that we're working with right now, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about some other things. Hopefully I'll remember what they were when I get to them. It's time like these that I'm actually keeping up with what's going on that makes me think I'm crazy that I can keep up with all this stuff. But I feel really good. I mean, the caffeine helps a little bit, just like, whoa. And I remember a little bit more possibly when I'm a little caffeinated. Okay. So I asked the interdimensional being, Thoth and Ra, the deep self, the higher self, and our soul ray group to assist all the souls that returned to this event to combine with that part of their soul that had remained at the event and bring that combined soul back into their body in present time with all of its wisdom, power, clarity, and compassion. Today is a day of compassion. And I would ask all those souls to ground themselves in the healing center of the earth, open up the portal for the delivery of these brand new energies we're bringing into the earth right now. And I ask the interdimensional being, Thoth and Ra, deep self, higher self, and our soul group to bring in these new energies into the earth for the uplifting of the entire planet and all of its inhabitants. I ask that that energy be brought in now. I feel like such a mad scientist, and I'm doing all of this based on voices inside my head. when people say I'm not sure about that guy, I could respond, I'm not sure about him either. But he is entertaining to all of his parts. He does keep the whole orchestra of himself fairly well entertained. Okay, the energies are in. I ask that these energies be activated. Sometimes the activation energies are even more powerful than the energies that come in. And that energy came out of that throat. All that grief that I've been working with all morning just came out, just finished and integrated. And I let the universe and beyond know that this has been done and that it's good. On many levels, the session is complete. I'm going to speak about a few things that may benefit you in the larger scheme of things. I'm leaving them on. I see better with them. They're reading classes, but things seem clearer when I have them on, except when they're all covered in smush. I'm so grateful to talk about these things and actually have people listen and write to me and tell me how beneficial this process is for them. And I know it's been so beneficial to me to have these higher dimensional beings work so closely in helping me come out of the fog and to get clear and be able to do the things that they ask me and clear my limiting beliefs that I can't do it. When Arlen showed up in 1996, and I don't necessarily know this group that Arlen's this, on this level, that Arlen's the spokesperson for, but he talked about that he's the spokesperson for a group that are working with me. And he told me I'd agreed to do something, and it turned out to be helping Abrahamanad incarnate as the soul of the earth. It all seems so far-fetched, but I'm just going with it because that's what I'm told. That I had agreed to do this before I incarnated and I wasn't ready. Arlen took over in a plan to get me ready over the course of the next 14 months so I could participate in this event clear, which I did the things in the 14-month, got clear, and was able to participate, and it took place. Abrahamanad explained to me that for the next 28 years, the earth was going to be going through a cleansing process that was going to affect primarily the humans, but also the trees that were holding memory and the earth that was holding energy. But we're going to be going through this 28-year cycle of cleansing. So from 97, March 23rd, the day that Abraham and I came in, from March 23rd of 1997 to 2004 was going to be physical cleansing. 2004 to 2011 was mental cleansing. 2011 to 2018 was emotional cleansing. 2018 to 2025 was spiritual cleansing, and the cycle completes on March 24th of 2025 and begins on March 24th, 2025. I just came to an understanding of this because the yellow sun is the ending and the beginning. So the day on which it ends is the day on which it begins, and the next day is a red dragon day. So I'm a red dragon. My kin are related to birth of new energies. It's a yellow Sunday, my wife, on the 24th. The 25th, the birth of new energies, is a red dragon day. And then on and 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 on. And it's just nice that it all kind of fits together in somewhat of a nice package. That's somewhat comprehensible to me. Okay, so the last bit of this video, and I'm just going to look at the time. So we have 18 minutes into this, so I feel like it's been a major 18-minute download. So I'm just going to give it a little bit more information. So, I was told in June of 2020 that I was given a process to release beliefs. And I was told that beliefs are stories made up due to unresolved energies from past events. So the way that you can release the energies of the past events, because they travel with us in the present until they're resolved, and then they're present experiences from the past. But they're present because we've integrated the experience. The unintegrated experiences we carry as a big load on our back possibly need to be released and integrated. And so we need to release all our beliefs. you just go deal with it. Don't talk to me about it. I argued about it and I got nowhere with it. I'm just going to say that we need to release all our beliefs because our beliefs are all limiting. And so the way you do that is when you're triggered and you have all these emotions come up, you stop and you practice this, you stop and you take the story, say, and put it, I do it differently every time, which is probably okay. You put the story in your right hand and the emotions in your left. And then, so you have this story you want to tell, but you don't tell it. And you have these emotions that are stored that are connected to this story, and you separate them. And you just keep separating them until they're arm's length apart. So you won't be able to see that part, you'll be able to feel it. When you get them arm's length apart, the story and the emotions disconnect, and you just release those emotions. Then you release the story. Doesn't matter if you tell that story afterwards because it has no emotions, therefore it has no meaning or value other than what you learned from it. That's how you release your beliefs. And just do it over and over again. Every time you get triggered, you have all these emotions, and then you have this story you want to tell about what this person did and how they did it before and how they did it 20 years ago, and you still got these bad feelings about it, and then these emotions, and then you just separate them, poof, you let them go. Over and over and over again. The faster, the better, because they're being pushed up. So you may as well bring them up, let them go. Bring them up, let them go. Bring them up, let them go. That's one. The other thing is disconnecting from thought forms. So there are thought forms. So a religious group is a thought form. Alternative medicine is a thought form. Traditional medicine is a thought form. Homeopathy is a thought form. Vaccines are a thought form. All of these thought forms gain in strength as people pour emotions into the thought form. It's the same as stories. They're limiting beliefs. They're thought forms. They're matrices. They're not your experience. They are what you have been taught. And the thing that has value is what you've experienced, not what you've been taught. So again, I'm just getting this right now. You can take this thought form. So let's just take one thought form and let's just go with the big one. Let's go with the thought form called God. And I was afraid to do this when I was asked to do this in 2011, so 13 years ago. I went, I'm not messing with God, I'm sorry, but there are certain things that even if you don't believe them, really, if you were raised in Catholicism, which I was, or raised or lowered, depending on your perspective, but when you are raised or lowered in Catholicism, the one thing that you really took in as a possibility is you never wanted to mess with God because God might smote you, might just destroy your whole town just to get to you. That was the thought form. So that was the God that I was gifted. Everybody has possibly, except for the agnostic or the atheist families, they didn't get these gods, but anybody who kind of had semi-religious parents, they got some God that is a thought form. If it was all one thing, which on another level it is all one thing, but that's another story. Let's just stick with God. Let's just go for releasing the thought form of God surrounding the planet just for us. Just do it if you feel like it. If you sense it's right, just do it for yourself. It doesn't mean that you have to stop going to church. The community of church may be very beneficial for you. So just keep it up if it feels right. Just for now, and you can reconnect with the matrix of God surrounding the planet later if you find out that it doesn't work for you to be disconnected from it. But for now, you may want to state, it's your choice. I'm not making you do this. You may want to state, I disconnect from the matrix of God surrounding the planet. And then the rest of them are easy after that one. If you have the intestinal fortitude to disconnect from the matrix of God, the creator of everything, if you can do that, there isn't anything else you can't do. Okay. And then, so the rest of the matrix, the thought form about health, the thought form about exercise, the thought form about fear, the thought form about anger, all of these thought forms you can disconnect from if you want. You're making the choice to do it, not because I'm hypnotically programming you to do it. I don't do that. I only suggest things that I've done that I found beneficial for myself. If you do them and find them beneficial for you, feel free to write a comment, wow, that was helpful. Like some people are writing like, whoa, I went through so many levels on that one video. And that's why I watch them 3 or 4 times, because I'm downloading information from my teachers that I've been studying with lifetime after lifetime. Sometimes I get to be a teacher in that school when I'm not in a human body doing the fool thing. But I download this information from this higher realm. You're aware of this higher realm. If you did that disconnect from the matrix of God and you felt the whole world open up, that is the one world. It just is connected to everything, everywhere, and there's no person running around smoting people. Okay, that's it. That's the video for today. I hope it uploads fairly well and doesn't take too long, and it's been a pleasure to be with you. And on some levels, that took a lot of guts on my part to just open that up. All right, NowMustGo.